You're not creating because a part of you doesn't trust that who you truly are is enough to take you all the way. But before you hang up, understand that it's really sneaky. It's really sneaky. And even really confident creatives can fall into this because it can disguise itself as optimization. I really know the market. I know the industry. Experience is a really sneaky one. And things like prediction. And it generally shows up when you are about to try something new. And I'm saying this because I really do know firsthand. Y'all, I have released music. I've performed on Broadway. I performed on television. I created my own podcast and it still showed up for me. And there's one thing to note as well. When I'm performing, I notice it doesn't really show up as much or show up in the same way. It's always when I am about to step out and do something new and create something. Let's take me starting this YouTube channel as an example. While I was setting up this channel, I could feel myself transitioning from the very necessary planning stage into the procrastination resistance phase or kind of energy. And this is the thought that gave me the launch to stop waiting. Even the fact that you are making such a big deal and event out of recording this one video is a sign that you are subconsciously stepping outside of the fact that who you are, what you have, and what you bring is enough to get this video done. And it's definitely enough to get started. I realized that I had really high expectations for the video. And I also had to recognize that my expectations for the video, for the channel, weren't based in the present moment. And even as I thought about the video, I was thinking about it taking hours and having to schedule all of this time. And it's going to take so long to get everything set up. It's going to take me so long to record it and get the words right and blah, blah, blah. And finally, I had the thought, all you're doing is you're being yourself, you're hitting record, and then you're going to continue to be yourself. And if you are being yourself, it's not going to take all day. It's only when you begin to self-edit and feel like you need to bring something that is outside of who you naturally are that you start trying to fix everything. And that it's that process that brings the frustration. And so I want to say from my heart to yours, you don't need to add anything. You don't need to add anything. And whatever it is that you're trying to add is not the thing that is going to make your creation great. It never is. The thing that people can cling and connect to is not whatever you are waiting to add before you decide to start. The thing that people can actually cling and connect to is that kernel of intuition that prompted you to want to create the thing you're creating in the first place. So pump the brakes and really know that you don't need everything to get started. And I know there are so many videos and people saying this, and it's true. You don't need a lot to get started. I was overthinking the set and I ended up buying a new mic that didn't even end up working with the camera. So I still had to use my Shure SM7B that I used to record vocals anyway. And I had to remember the thing that people are going to connect with is not the set. It's not the mic. It's not the lights. It's the fact that I really do have a desire to connect with other artists and to encourage all of us to keep creating. That's it. That is what people connect with. It's not the set. It's not your setup. You know what I mean? So I'll leave that there. And I also want to say, when you're showing up as yourself, you're not going to have to do all of the self-editing that just ends up frustrating you and discouraging you from continuing what you started. So it really is a win-win to show up as yourself with what you have and start there. Things can always change, but remember that you're always going to be changing things and improving things from the present moment. Want to talk about me, want to talk about I, want to talk about number one. So I'm not even kidding. The same night that I had this epiphany about just getting started and creating, I saw a tiny desk of this band called Forager. And y'all, as soon as I saw the performance and I watched the lead singer, the message was just so clear. She was just being herself. And I felt like it was just such a reminder that you really can just show up as who you are. her clothes, the way that she performed her groundedness. There were no bells and whistles and pyro. And I know it's Tiny Desk, but there was just something about how organic the performance felt that just really drove that point home of the struggle really does come when you're trying to add things to who you naturally are. They're on Tiny Desk. Their sound was also so different. I saw it described as kaleidoscopic pop, and I just thought that that was so fitting. I just thought that the sonic landscape was so unique and honestly refreshing. So y'all, I went and looked up the lead singer that same night. The plot thickens. She's a whole scholar. Like, she went to Yale. She was a fellowship recipient, like living her whole life on Tiny Desk as the lead singer of this band. And then she's also living her life as the scholar and astute person that she is. And I was so encouraged by that, because so many times, and let me know if your industry feels the same way as a creative, as a vocalist, sometimes it does feel like you have to choose. Even starting this channel, you know, I thought, oh, well, if I'm the one talking about music, or I'm the person who is noticing creativity, can I also be the person who is making it? And the answer is yes. We really don't have to choose. And I think shattering this illusion of having to separate ourselves or having to be one thing is also a practice in being yourself and showing up as who you are. If you want to be the lead singer of a band and then you want to spend the rest of your time doing really important research, why can't you do that? And I think it really is about showing up as ourselves and kind of recognizing the patterns that keep us from doing that. But it's also about giving ourselves permission to really step into who we are and using that to funnel creativity. I said what I said. I can't even begin to explain. Okay, so the final thing that I noticed that ties into the theme of create your art and show up is a video of a cook making peach cobbler. Now, you might say, Anastasia, what does a video about peach cobbler have to do with being a creative? That video reminded me of something else that can be a bit pesky when it comes to creating something new. I do think something that can kind of slow you down when it comes to creating is this idea that, well, so many people have done it already. Do I really need to do it? And as I was just randomly watching this video, his name is Cookin and Grillin with AB, by the way, there was just something very familiar about his presence in the video. I don't know if it's he was making a peach cobbler and I'm Southern, just his rhythm in the kitchen. But I had this thought, how many people make cooking videos online? But I resonated with this video because of his presence. And it was just such a reminder to me. Like, there was a moment where he brought out a paper plate and I was like, I know that paper plate. I've seen that paper plate, you know, with the foil over it. But anyway, it reminded me it's not just about what you're creating. It's also the context in which you create, the lens with which you create that people can connect to and resonate with. And this just came to me. I want to say this too. It's so easy to try to predict the part that people are going to connect to or why they're going to connect to what you create. But in this video, it was the freaking paper plate. You know what I mean? And it's just a reminder. We have no clue what exactly is going to draw people to our work, what part of our work people are going to connect to. It might be your skill, but it could also be the way that you say it. It could be your presence. There might be something about the way you do things that feels really familiar to people. And I think that just further drives the point home of how important it is to show up as yourself. But I just want to encourage all of us, honestly, and I want to encourage you to follow that creative nudge. That creative nudge is the thing that people are going to connect to, and you really never know who you're going to impact by showing up as yourself and making the things that you desire to create. But let me know in the comments. I would love to read about the things that you are wanting to create in this season. Anyway, that's it. Love y'all. Ooh, ooh. it's something. You and I have something. How I long to be around when you can see that you and I have something.